Hello and welcome, fellow Planeswalkers, to Game 2 between Mono Black and Bant. I go first and I play a tapped Stomping Ground. Mario lays down a Swamp and then casts a Pithing Needle, naming Wolf Run. A Sulphur Falls comes into play and then I cast a Farseek, gaining myself a Hollowed Fountain. Mario puts down a Dragon Skull Summit and casts a Sign in Blood. I lay down a Clifftop Retreat and then summon an Augur Bolus, revealing a Supreme Verdict and putting it in my hand. On Mario's turn, he puts down a Swamp. He then taps 3 and casts a Vampire Nighthawk. I put down a Kessig Wolfrun and pass my turn. Mario casts Duress. I reveal a Supreme Verdict, a Restoration Angel, a Sphinx's Revelation, and an Azorius Charm. He chooses to discard my Sphinx's Revelation and then attacks for 2. In response, I flash in my Restoration Angel, targeting my Augur Bolus. I reveal a Farseek and put it in my hand. My Angel then blocks his Nighthawk, Mario gains 2 life, and my Angel dies from Death Touch. Post-combat, he puts a Gloom Surgeon on the field and passes the turn. Missing my land drop, I put a Farseek, getting a Temple Garden, then passing it back. Mario misses a land drop, but he duresses me again. I then counter it with Negate. I tap 5, putting down a Thragtusk, gaining 5 life. I then attack with my Augur. Mario blocks it with his Gloom Surgeon and exiles the top card, which is a Swamp. Mario misses another land drop, but casts another Vampire Nighthawk. On my turn, I put down a Centaur Healer, gaining me 3 life. Mario keeps missing his land drops, so he puts down an Underworld Connection attached to his Swamp. At the end of his turn, I cast an Azorius Charm, drawing a card. I put down my second Clifftop Retreat, then attack with my Augur and my Centaur. Mario blocks the Centaur Healer with this Gloom Surgeon and then takes 1 from the Augur Bolus. The top 3 cards he exiles are Dreadbore, a Swamp, and a Staff of Nin. Mario finally puts down his 4th land. He puts it to good use and lays down a Crypt Ghast. He then passes the turn. I attack with the Centaur and the Augur again. The Gloom Surgeon blocks the Centaur and the Augur Bolus is blocked by the Vampire. The Vampire kills my Augur with Death Touch and gains Mario 2 life. He then exiles the top 3 cards, which consist of a Duress, a Victim of Night, and a Grizzlebrand. Post-combat, I cast a Supreme Verdict and get a 3/3 Beast from my Thragtusk. I then cast a Centaur Healer, gaining me 3 life, and then pass the turn. Mario pays a life and draws a card. He then puts down a Dragon Skull Summit. He then casts a Mutilate. He has 3 swamps, so he gives -3/-3 to all creatures. I cast an Augur Bolus. I reveal a Farseek and put it into my hand. I then cast said Farseek and get me a Sacred Foundry. At the beginning of his turn, Mario pays a life and draws a card. He then pays 4 and puts a Liliana of the Dark Realms. He uses her +1 ability, getting him a Blood Crypt, and then puts it in his hand. Since he didn't play a land this turn, he puts down a Blood Crypt tapped. I put down a tapped Breeding Pool, then attack his Liliana with my Augur. Mario puts down a Swamp. He then taps for 6 and casts a Staff of Nin. He +1s Liliana and gets himself a Swamp. He then pays a life and then draws a card. I put down my second Augur Bolus, revealing a Dissipate and putting it in my hand. I then attack Mario for 1 with my Augur. At the end of my turn, Mario hits me for 1. Mario puts down a Crypt Ghast. In response, I dissipate it. He then puts down a Swamp and casts a Slaughter Games, naming Supreme Verdict. He follows that up by +1ing his Liliana and getting himself a Swamp. On my turn, I cast a Farseek, not like I need more lands, and lay down a Breeding Pool tapped. I then swing in for 2. At the end of my turn, Mario deals 1 damage. Mario lays down a Swamp, and then casts a Grizzlebrand. He uses Liliana's ability and gets himself a Swamp. On my turn, I just play Draw Go. Mario puts on another Swamp. He's then curious to see what my card is, so he casts a Duress. I then reveal it's a Restoration Angel. He uses Liliana's -3 ability, targeting his Griselbrand, giving him +8/+8. I flash in my Resto, targeting my Augur Bolus. I don't get any instants or sorceries, so I put everything at the bottom. Mario then kills my Angel with a Victim of Night. His Griselbrand then does 15 damage, bringing Mario up to 30 and bringing me down to 14. Post-combat, he casts a Gloom Surgeon. Wanting to bring Mario's life total down, I attack with both my Augurs. Mario then blocks with a Gloom Surgeon and exiles a Mutilate. Mario puts down a Swamp, then uses Griselbrand's ability and pays 7 life, drawing 7 cards. He then Rakdos returned for 9, making me discard my Wolf Run. He then attacks with his Griselbrand for game, giving him game 2 in our best out of 5 matchup.